Welcome back to A View to a Grill. I'm Johnny. Today I'm going to show you how to grill mouth-watering fajitas using the two-zone grilling method. Let's jump right into our fajita prep. Now I went over to my local HEB and bought a full pack of inside skirt steak. Now the first thing we need to do is take them out of the package and check out how big these things are. The whole package comes with 2 untrimmed beef fajitas. Don't be intimidated by the size of this meat. And the first thing I like to do is cut off the ends. The ends tend to be a bit smaller and they cook faster, so I like to cook the 2 ends together. For this video, let's focus on the middle part of these beef fajitas. On one side, you'll see this thick layer of silver skin. We're going to want to take all of this off. On the other side, you'll see a thin layer of silver skin kind of on the edges, and we're going to want to take this off as well. Starting on the thick silver skin side, we're just going to want to pull up on that silver skin, get your knife under it, and start trimming it off. And also, when you're doing this, if your knife isn't going through really easy, step back and take some time to sharpen your knife. A sharp knife makes this entire job a lot easier. And now I will just get the rest of the silver skin removed from the beef fajitas. And I kind of like to play a game where I try to take the entire layer of silver skin off in one piece, because I do things like this for fun. This is fun to me. And today, success. The entire layer of silver skin in one piece. Now we'll get it flipped over and trim off those thinner pieces of silver skin. And the reason why we do this is because we want our rub and our marinade to penetrate and give you some really good flavor for your beef fajitas. And when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. All the meat has been exposed. Now we're going to want to cut these beef fajitas down into a more manageable size for the grill. Now it looks all great and everything when you're putting a piece of meat this long on your grill, but in actuality, you want to have the ability to work with smaller pieces just so that you can get the best color you can possibly get while you're grilling. And now, based on the length of these fajitas, I decided to cut them into 4 equal parts. Now it's time to put together our marinade. Our marinade is going to be incredibly easy because I like to use the Fiesta brand of fajita seasoning. Now, if you don't have this brand for yourself, I'll have the link below. We are also going to need about 1/2 cup of olive oil and 1/2 cup of lime juice and some cilantro stems. Now, of course, you can use the leaves of the cilantro, but everyone just throws the stems away. I say use them in a marinade. They pack plenty of flavor and it's less wasteful. And you're also going to need a Ziploc baggie for the marinade. And now, in no particular order, we're going to get the olive oil in, then we'll get the lime juice in. Next, we're going to get a healthy portion of the fajita rub. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of rub in the marinade. And then finally, I'll remove the stems from my cilantro and get them in the bag as well. Next, I will twirl up the bag and shake it vigorously. And when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. And there you have it. You have about 1 cup of marinade, which is all you're going to need for this amount of fajitas. And now I'll get all of these into the bag. And when you put them into the bag, move those fajitas around, flip them, turn them. Just get that marinade in contact with 100% of the beef fajitas. And now that we have all of the fajitas in the bag, I'll get as much air out of the Ziploc baggie as I can and then zip it up. And then all you have to do is place it in a bowl just in case it leaks, and then put them in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours, and you can do it for as few as 2 hours. I probably wouldn't go more than 6 hours. It's time to set up our grill for two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking is the same pretty much for any grill, right? You're gonna have a hot side and a cool side, whether you're using your PK, your Weber kettle, or in this case, today I'm using the Golden's cast iron Kamado. Now, taking a look in my Golden's cast iron Kamado, you can see that I have the right side set up as my hot zone because that's where the coals are, and my left side set up as a cool zone because there are no coals there. Now I've already filled up my Weber kettle chimney starter all the way to the top, and let's go ahead and get that started. And once the chimney starter has ashed over, I'll just pour that right over our used charcoal. I'll get both grates on and then close the lid so everything can preheat. I'm going to want my grill to be as hot as possible, so I'll have the bottom vent wide open and the top vent wide open as well. Now everything's been preheating for about 5 minutes. It's always important to clean your grill grates, so I'll just get those wiped down. And now it's time to get our fajitas on. Now I'm just placing those 4 large pieces of beef fajitas on the cool side, not because I'm trying to cook them, I just want them out of the way at this point. What I'm looking for are those 2 small ends that we cut off earlier, because they're going to cook the fastest, so I'm going to cook those first together. Now these cook really fast, and once they reach the color that I like, I'll get those pulled off. Now I'll get those 4 larger pieces moved over to directly over the fire. Now I'm just going to let them hang out there. Ideally, I'll do the whole cook over direct heat, but if I need to later in the cook, since we have a cool side, I have a side to retreat to. That is my safety zone. So that is why I always set up for 2-zone cooking, even if my intention is to do the entire grilling session over direct heat. I always want a place to move my protein to if I need to finish cooking it indirectly. Now, if you want to boost up your flavor, you can put a tiny layer of seasoning on your meat while it's cooking. This is just going to help maximize the flavor of your beef fajitas. Now we're doing pretty good. So far I've been able to cook these over the direct heat. But let's take a closer look at our fajitas just to see if we need to rearrange the meat to get them all colored evenly. Now as you can see, this one here in the middle is the darkest one. So we can assume that is the hottest spot of the grill. This one over here is the lightest one, so we can assume that is the coolest part of our grill. This one looks pretty good, and the one all the way to the left is about the same color as that one in the middle top row. What we want to do is get the darkest one and move it over to the indirect side of the grill while we rearrange the others. Now I'll put the lightest colored one at the hottest part of the grill, get the darkest one, put it back over direct heat, but on the coolest part of the direct heat. And the top middle one, I'm going to flip that one in place because it's relatively evenly colored. Now, the one all the way to the back, that one has a dark spot and a light spot. I'm going to flip that one to where the opposite end is now over the hotter part of the grill, because what I'm going for is even color. And there you have it. Now all of our meat is rearranged, and we should get some even color on these fajitas. And really, that is the beef fajita color flip game that we're going to play until the beef fajitas are ready to come off the grill. Now let's talk about when beef fajitas are done. Well, that's going to be your taste, right? So if you like your beef fajitas rare, then you're going to want to take them off about 5 degrees before that rare temperature that you like. No matter what final doneness you want, take it off about 5 degrees beforehand. I like mine done at a medium to medium well for beef fajitas, and that's just my particular taste for this cut of meat. So I'm going to take mine off 5 degrees before the temperature that I like. And today that is 135, so I can have a final temperature of about 140. And that's simply because that's where I like my beef fajitas. Take a look at our results and do a taste test. Now let's take a look at the exterior of our beef fajitas. You can see that there is no gray meat. All of it is that nice dark brown color, and we even have some char from the grill marks. So these fajitas are looking pretty good. Now I couldn't help myself. I like these little end pieces, so I'll just quickly cut those off and eat them. And here's what you're probably interested in: a cut right down the center. And there's that color that I was talking about. I like mine between medium and medium well. So for me, that is the perfect color. For beef fajitas, you want to slice them against the grain and relatively thin. And as you can see, while I'm slicing this thin slice, the juice from the fajitas are just pouring onto the board. And for me, these are perfectly done fajitas. And now, let's go ahead and give these a taste. Today I'm using these beef fajitas for tacos, and I like smaller pieces in a taco just because I think it fits better in a taco, number one, and the chew is just a little bit better. Now, of course, you already knew it. They're good, yeah. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, why not? Go ahead and take some time and do that now. Thank you for watching A View to a Grill. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.